Okay, so now we're going to use the distance formula. So it says find the distance between the points, and then they give us 2 points. You could graph this if you wanted to. I'm not going to, but you could. And so first thing, I'm going to write down the distance formula. The distance is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. And then what I tell students to do usually is label your points. Like make this x sub 1, y sub 1, and this one x sub 2, y sub 2. Now if you're saying, oh, does it matter which point's which? It doesn't matter which point's the first point, which one's the second point. You do have to keep them together though, like the x1 and the y1 have to be for the same point, and the x sub 2 and the y sub 2 have to be for the same point. I usually just have the first point be the first point and the second point be the second point. Okay, now we're going to plug those points into our formula. So we'll have the square root of x sub 2, that was 2, minus x sub 1, which is negative 3. And I'm going to square that, plus y sub 2, which is 3, minus y sub 1, which was negative 1, and then I've got to square that. All right, so I've got everything plugged in. That's the tricky part. And then we have to do the math. So 2 minus a negative 3, that's going to be 5. 2 plus 3, right? And then 3 plus 1 is going to be 4. Then I'll have to do the squaring. I'm going to get 25 plus 16, which is going to be the square root of 41. Now, I would leave this unless they tell me to get an approximation on a calculator. So the distance is the square root of 41. I would leave it at that. But you could get an approximation on a calculator.